Wow. So the question again is, how much muscle mass could we put on a
Naturally.
body naturally? So dealing with pain while lifting.
What are your thoughts on resistance band exercises?
Hi guys. Little Cobra Kai this morning. All right.
What are your thoughts on resistance band exercises? Resistance is resistance is resistance, but resistance is not really resistance, and it's different. So while you get tension on the muscle, that's really what you're working for. You want to create tension on your muscle to cause the response that we're looking for. There are certain times and places for bands, but I wouldn't say if you're looking to become a bodybuilder or someone that is making your physique grow, they're probably not the first choice. I would say, weights. You can't, a dumbbell is way different than a band. Just, there's no two ways about it. So, what's up, champ? Come here. So, there's a time and a place for everything. That's the easy answer.
If bands is all you got for the home, in the gym, and the gyms are closed, cool. But go to nutrition. Make sure that nutrition is on point as you guys are doing this. And then, bands. Nothing beats weightlifting.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: you guys may think, and I think most of you do, you guys will look at Clark and go, "He's a handsome guy." We're both mid-50s guys, and you would probably say, "Well, you guys weightlift, and that's what you guys are doing." Weightlifting is not as important for him and I as it is for every single woman that's on here right now. Not even close. Not even close. It's more important for a woman to weightlift for health reasons, for life reasons. Secondary thing is Clark and I have figured out that weightlifting is also more important for longevity relative to you just having hot chicks and girls and guys look at you with great abs. So just make sure that you understand why we weightlift and what the importance is for health reasons. So dealing with pain while lifting.
You got to know the difference between an injury and just pain, discomfort.
I would say the difference between an injury and an owie.
Yeah. We're all going to experience like knees aching and shoulders hurting. That's just part of the process, especially when you beat yourself up day after day after day. One of the things that I really appreciate about Mike is I've never seen him injured to the point. I've seen him like off his game a little bit once for reasons that aren't even physical. But if you know the difference between the two, then you're going to work around it. Mike talks about a principle of strengthening your tendons, which I think is important. I can't remember the theory. What is the theory?
It's Wolff's Law, Davis Law.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
So I think what a lot of people do, this is kind of a backwards answer, but what a lot of people do is they avoid doing something because they have pain, thinking that's the best thing to do, when actually, more often than not, it's the worst thing to do. Because you're not strengthening the tendons. You're not putting it through what it needs to go through in order to get strong, so those pains don't pop up as often as they might if you're neglecting that joint. Like the shoulder articulates in more range of motion than any other body part, right? So there's more ability or more opportunity for the shoulder to get injured. That's why you hear somebody go say, "Oh, I have a shoulder injury." Well, you need to strengthen the smaller muscles around the shoulder, because too many people jump into stuff too quickly, right? You're going to do the 30-day blitz, you're going to do my program, whatever you're going to do. You jump in full steam, which we appreciate the enthusiasm, but you got to come into it slowly so you don't get those things. So, in the real ice, rest, and glucosamine and Mike's joint fix right here, that'll handle it.
Yeah, I'm going to just add on to his is that know the difference between an injury and an owie. You're going to have to keep moving through. Life is pain. You're going to have aches. To work out through those aches and pains, you just got to get good mobility and be able to learn to move around those exercises. And then on top of this, don't get to that point. What do I mean by that? I mean, when you start listen to what we're actually saying, instead of you being a bonehead going, I just want to get jacked and strong. Great. Listen to what we're saying, because you're only going to be jacked and strong through your 20s, and then by 30 you're going to be done because you got too many shoulder problems and knee problems. Again, we're mid 50s and we're still doing this, and we just got done with a workout at 4 o'clock in the morning and crushed it, and you guys are going, well, you know, you're not going to be able to do this if you don't wise up at a younger age and understand that we were training smart from a young age. Wow. So the question again is, how much muscle mass could we put on a body naturally with average genetics? Well, first off, I don't know where you got the average genetics. Genetics has nothing to do with putting muscle mass on. The muscle mass has to go with shape or genetic shape. I know a lot of guys. Dave Palumbo does not have the greatest genetics in the world, was a monster of a man. But there's a lot of people like that. I'm just using him for an example. He still did great. Genetics should never come into your mindset.
Boom. Stop right there. That's the thing. Your statement alone,
It shows he's weak-minded.
you're limiting your ability by saying average genetics. So what you're doing is you're comparing
Let me
yourself
just say
to
this again
somebody
to
else.
the fan base over here.
So
The question was, how much muscle mass naturally can you put on average genetics? And so he and I both agree, this person's mindset is already weak. He's not even average. He's a snowflake because of the fact that he used the terminology average and naturally. Of course you're going to put on muscle naturally. We all do that. But the thing that he was saying is, you already talked about average and all this and stuff. Skip that. Go.
Yeah,
Keep going into that.
So Mike talked about mindset, and I stopped him because it's key. Just the question alone is telling me, from someone who deals with this every single day, that he's setting himself up for failure or not achieving what he could possibly achieve if he just went and did it without that thought. Like, I'm an average guy. I'm only going to be able to do this. I'm not that. Stop comparing yourself. Start doing and just get the results that you're going to get, because it doesn't matter what I say or what he says. You just got to go do the work and then let the chips fall where they may. You know, what's going to happen is going to happen. So eat and all the stuff that you hear every day.
I did a interview with Greene, and if you have to ask me who the greatest genetically
Here's a good
guy
one right
was,
here.
hold on before that. So Greene, who's probably the most genetically gifted guy in the world, actually said what you said. He's the most genetic. Leave it there. So he, who is the most genetically gifted human, he as a teenager he was phenomenal and won the universe as well, Team Universe, and again natural Greene at that time. But he says leave that out because you're gonna have to train regardless of your genetics. You're gonna have to put in the work, and if you go into the gym, and that's what Clark was trying to say, you're already going into the gym with a mindset of, well, I'm doing it naturally. Of course you're doing it naturally. That's why would you want to do this any other way? You want to be able to build the muscle and keep the muscle. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you're already complaining about genetics. Leave the genetics out. Go in, do the work like he's saying. Go in, do the very best you can, and what you get is what you get. How much weight can you put on?
Yeah, the first one.
You should put on as much muscle mass that you want.